What's happening? Yeah, what's happening? What's that? That's it, you got it.
What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson. Welcome back to another episode of What's Happening. This go around, I think we're going to see if we can walk and chew gum instead of sitting in my corner. I actually have cups to work on, but it's kind of boring by myself, so I figured I would just ramble a bit, bring you guys along while I kind of clean these things, and then we can get you guys up to speed on what's going down over here on the YouTube BurnDown channel. So, I'll throw you guys right here. I'll try to speak up so you can hear me. I've got the Cups for Kids cups in full swing. So we've prepped them. I stuff little smaller cups in here so they don't rest particularly on the substrate on your surface. It helps keep the paint a little cleaner, and then it doesn't stick to stuff and ruin your paint work. And then I have to mask off this bottom portion and wipe them all down, and then we're going to put some base on them at a certain point. So that's what we're working on right now. I'm going to mask these off and then we'll razor blade them, but I figure I could talk to you guys. But let me grab a razor blade real quick. I got a couple of those here. Grab some tape, because I don't have any fancy way to do this. Yeah, so let me grab a couple of these guys here to get started on so I don't have to move around. But first and foremost, if you guys have been following along, you know, fancy rolly stool. Woo, my Viper chair. All right. What is up, everybody? So, first and foremost, if you guys have been following along, you know that we had our setback on the Malibu, which was the paint blushed. Well, for those of you guys that don't know my background, I build classic and custom cars. I've been doing it for quite a while. Just one at a time, and I bang them out, and I just do them out of this little facility here that we're in right now, which should be my home garage for the most part. And yeah, I've had my fair share of struggles, especially with painting things, because for anybody that knows that does paint work, and that's a little long, should do a little bit better job. Paint work is very difficult. It is not your friend by any stretch. It is 100% labor for the most part. If you take a shortcut, it looks like you took a shortcut. Even the Malibu, as basically all the shortcuts that I took on the thing, I still went the long route on that because I really wasn't planning on it being as terrible as it actually was. I have another video. I can put a link in here. You guys can see the actual car, what it looked like with the small block and everything when I got to roll around. And I used to drive the family around a little bit. My wife wouldn't really get in it because she was afraid it was just going to stall and not run and catch fire. She actually told me that. She said, this thing's going to catch fire. I don't want to ride in it. And she was probably right. And it never did catch fire, luckily. But yeah, so that thing was terrible. And I did everything right, 100%. I sprayed the car right. I did everything great except for Mother Nature getting me. I did know that it could be an issue, but I didn't have any condensation or problems because I wake up early every day. I eat breakfast, and I'm up and early outside for the most part. No condensation, nothing like that. The next morning I got up after I painted the Malibu, the first go round. It looked like somebody took a hose to the car, and it was really disheartening because I knew it was junk at that point. So that kind of set the tone for the day and the week. And anyway, so long story short, it's supposed to be a satin color, and it's more of like a semi-gloss, but that's kind of the satin that I like. Like if you ever see like people call it flat black or satin black, well, I like it where there's it's like a semi-gloss versus flat. Flat looks real chalky to me, and then your handprints and all the stuff show up on it. It might look cool right out of the gun, but after that, they always look like hell. So I wanted definitely a satin deal, and there's a lot of you guys reaching out telling me that I could, just cut and polish it and call it a day, which I could have because it's a single stage color. So if you shoot single stage, and the difference between single stage and like a two-part, one's like a base coat, clear coat deal, which is majority of the paint that you've seen ever. And then there's single stage. Everybody thinks single stage is easier because it's paint and clear in one shot and you just put it on and Bob's your uncle. Well, if there's a metallic or a pearl in a single stage, it has to lay out, because if it doesn't, you can't correct it. You can't cut or polish it. As we're a two-part, the base is buried under that clear coat, so you can correct the clear coat. So it's actually more forgiving to do a two-part job than it is to do a one-part deal. But I wanted to do something cheap. I got the paint from my buddy Willie for free. He hooked me up. NCS Coatings, thank you again. Ding. And I thought I could pull it off out in the driveway, and Mother Nature decided otherwise. But the good thing about it, here's twofold. So the good thing about me failing is it shows you guys that even a guy with experience, I would say at this point I actually know what I'm doing. I consider myself more of like a custom painter. I'm not the fastest dude on the planet, but I can make something flat, shiny, and nice. And I've turned out good results multiple times, so it's not a fluke. It's like, you know, I'm able to do this. But with that being said, I didn't really paint a lot of stuff outside. I figured I was like, oh, I'll just knock it out and I can show guys that they can do it themselves. Well, it bit me in the ass. And then I had to fix it and redo it. But the bright side of that is it shows you that, you know, that's exactly what could happen depending on how you did it. So if you watch this thing and you're like, oh, I want to try it. Well, now you know you get your ass up early. After the dew point, you can shoot it. And then life will be good. And secondly, for those of you guys that do not know, I have a motorhome. It's called the Twinnebago. You may have heard about it if you watch the channel. It's laying there dormant. We're going to get back after it. But that thing needs a paint job as well. And turns out I don't have anywhere to do it. So where it sits outside is where that's going to get done as well. So I'm glad that I did the car first and I chose to do it that way, because having a motorhome go bad is a lot worse than having a car go bad and having to correct it. So now, knowing what I did because I just did the car, we won't make the same mistake on the motorhome, and hopefully we should be good. Granted, the motorhome will be actually done in sections because you physically can't run around something that big, so it'll be sectioned off, so it won't be quite as cumbersome or bad. But again, I don't like doing stuff more than I have to, and yeah, we flopped and I ate it, and that's part of it. But the good news is the thing looks phenomenal. Everybody's asked if the fenders and everything match. I would say it's very, very close. Like, you have to kind of look at it and you're like, does it, doesn't it? And at that point, in my book, for what it is, it does. If it was blatantly two different blues, I'd be like, oh, but it's not. It matches perfectly fine. By the time we make it all busy with the flames and whatnot too, it is going to look, woo! It's going to look fantastic. Let me grab a couple more cups. So what I'm doing with these is we're putting the yellow tape on, and then I'll bring a razor blade back and we'll cut it off, because it's a circle and it's like a foam. If it was plastic and it would take paint, I would just shoot it because I don't care. But I actually peeled this off. It was a pain in the ass. So I'm going to leave it on and mask it because I'm trying to do the most effective, like quickest way to get these done. So it won't take paint. It's hard to peel off. And this is pretty much the only option that I got to do this. So if you did order a holiday cup, or a few of them, there's a few guys that ordered more than one. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Majority of these are cups that are custom cups that I sold. But 4 of these are going to be auctioned off next week in the Cups for Kids, which is the charitable deal that I do, and then I use all the money to buy gifts for kids. So that is coming up. So if you didn't get a cup or you're waiting for that, next week is your chance. We'll auction them all week through Facebook and Instagram. So if you do not follow me on either one of those platforms, you need to get on there if you want a chance to win one of these. And I decided on a full color Uncle Gus for one of them, a full color BurnDown logo for one of them, and I'm still kind of up in the air for the final 2. Somebody said peaches. I do have like a little peaches sticker logo that I had a guy draw up. They did a phenomenal job. I have the artwork for that, so I can probably separate that out and make like a stencil. And the giveaway cups, I like to do those full color and take a little more time. They're a lot harder to do when you're doing that versus the custom cups that I make for people, because that's just a silver base with a black shadow and then a candy color. As for the other ones, I do multiple colors and rounds and shadowing, and then I candy color the cup. But I do it because it makes it worth more effort, more time, more money, and we use 100% of that for gifts for children. Speaking of which, I also told you guys that we were going to use any proceeds from merchandise, and then you guys really stepped up and bought a lot of cool stuff, so thank you for that. And I have an email from, it's not Shopify, it's whoever prints this stuff, because it's all print on demand. And last month, I think I did $270 worth of merch, and that's the profit margin that I would have pocketed. We're going to throw that in the pot for the Cups for Kids. So that is awesome. I think the previous month as well, because I want to say I stated that thing in like October. So all of October, and then November, and then whatever we get for, tally this month up, which we're not going to have that much, but both of those months, we're going to throw that in as well. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I know we're over $300 to kick it off, which is phenomenal, because every year it's been zero, and then I wait for the cups to auction off. We do donations and everything as well if you guys want to do that. But ultimately, I mean, we're already $300 in, so I feel like it's a hell of a start, and it's going to be pretty cool. I got to get with the ladies and see, if kids have turned their wish lists and stuff in yet. But that is that. So I got all these guys. We're going to mask them off, try to do some base this evening, let them dry up, and then I'll just throw the table over here. We're not putting these outside, by the way, so they will not blush. And then I got to get the rest of the artwork done and bang these things out. So other than that, the JJ the Boss arm drop I wanted to go to was canceled. I believe the zip tie drags, which I usually try to attend every year, is also canceled. My buddy Richard over in Arizona is trying to put something together. I said I would help as much as I could. I have no idea if that's going to go or not go, and it's like a month away, which is hard to plan an event, in my opinion, of that magnitude. In that time frame, especially with all of us, and I know that he'd be new to throwing an event, so I would imagine best case scenario just turns into a track rental, and we just take a bunch of hoopties and send them down the drag strip, which I'm fine with that too. It doesn't really have to be some official conglomerate. I'll drive out to Arizona and support my buddies and make quarter-mile passes in the boom if it's put together. So update on that besides the paint. I have most of the pieces to put the short block together. I'm going to put studs in the bottom end on it because it's aluminum block. And then I figure at this point we're already there. So we'll stud the bottom end, put that all together. I need head gaskets and normal gaskets to put the thing back together. After that's done, my buddy Joey Govia is working on a fuel hat, like a universal style one. Then my compressor's running. It's a universal style like fuel hat, so we can drop it in the fuel cell. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. If that thing works out, that would be pretty slick. And then I may have one made for the Twinnebago, and if you guys are interested at all, depending, maybe we can get you guys fuel hats as well. I'm going to do a dual pump setup on my car. A single is still going to be in the Twinnebago, but I might put the original tank back in because the fill neck on the one that I put in there is just, it's a pain. It doesn't want to fill, and I'm like, man, if I'm out in the open road and I'm trying to fill this damn thing up and I have to I don't really want to deal with that. I just want to put the nozzle in, hit the thing, and then eat my ice cream or my snack while that thing's rolling, or go back in the motorhome and wait or something. I don't want to have to sit there and hold it at 10 degrees and pull half the handle and do the hokey pokey. So that's kind of what I got to do now, and it's pretty stupid. So that is pretty much it. If you guys have questions or anything, concerns, let me know what you'd like to see for artwork. I got 2 cups that are going to be auctioned off. I'd like it to be stuff that you guys would like to have, because you guys end up throwing your hard-earned money at these things, and at the end of the day, I mean, you're buying an overpriced cup. Let's just be honest. It's not going to be worth what you have into it, but know that you're making a difference. You're going to make a kid's Christmas better, and at least you get a crappy cup for me. That's good to go. It's good for everybody. We win all around. So with that being said, I got to get after it. I just want to make a quick video, update you guys on that stuff. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for getting the cups and for supporting me, and then being pretty kind on the the car flop that we had. Granted, if I really cared that much about it going south, I don't think I'd make videos, So I just want to show you guys that, this is what happens. It is disappointing because it's a lot of work down the tubes, but Goonies never say die. We came back. The thing looks phenomenal, and we're going to keep on rolling and get through these holidays and hopefully get that car back down to 1320. Until next time, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.